Hey, this is Max. Welcome back to another CSR2 video. I am here running the New Mexico Showdown, and I'm running this with a maxed out Kam Havoc. As I mentioned in my my take video earlier, this is probably the one car that's going to get you straight through to 1400 trophies on day one without much of a headache. Anything slower than this car, including maxed out Uncle Sam's and other cars, will struggle a little bit because this car's in the showdown. Essentially, as you understand, any showdown, the fastest car is going to be the easiest car to use, and unless you don't drive it well, you'll pretty much run over everybody else. And that's exactly what I plan to do here, because my goal is to simply get to 1400 as quickly as possible and not to run any more of the showdown after that, because quite honestly, I have no love for showdown at this point. I will do it to get the prize car so I can move on in Albuquerque, but I have no interest in actually doing much more than that in this showdown. The Havoc, though, will guarantee pretty much that I will make it through this first morning, in fact, to 1400 very quickly. Why? Well, Showdown is structured where you're matched up by trophies. So as I get to each higher trophy range, I will run into those players with their cars that are in that trophy range. Well, I'm guaranteeing you, after I get past 1200 to 1300, right near when I start to get to the prize car, it's going to be nothing but Havocs. Now, what if you have a slower car? Well, what's going to happen is you're going to lose. Like these guys are losing to me because I have a faster car. They're just not going to beat me. Their car might be fully maxed, fully elite, but unfortunately, the Shelby, even fully elite, just doesn't come close to beating the Havoc, and therefore, they're just not going to win. That makes it a little more frustrating because you're going to be bouncing around in the trophy ranges such as 900, 1000, 1200, whatever it is, until guys with faster cars move past that range. Sometimes what we'll do is we get to 1400 and then I'll lose a few to give people a few shots at getting it, but on day one, that's not really all that productive. I think maybe when I get to day 4 or day 5, when a lot of the guys with really slower cars that are really struggling, trying to get to the end, are right there at 1390s, I'll give out a few losses just to help out. But at this point, my best thing to do as a guy with the maxed out Havoc is to win my way through as quickly as possible, doing the minimal damage to other players, and then move on beyond 1400 or just stop playing. Either way, it gives guys with slower cars a shot. As you can see, as you climb the trophy ranges, now I'm at almost 1000. I'm starting to see a little bit faster cars, including the Uncle Sam, which can actually do 6.9, but the Havoc does 6.8. So the Uncle Sam isn't going to win. That's the nature of the way the cars are set up in this game and how Showdown works. There's nothing you can do about it. So your best strategy is always going to be a little bit of luck and a lot of patience when you don't have the Apex car for the showdown. Now, the actual Apex car theoretically is the prize car fully maxed. But if I'm seeing a prize car fully maxed first thing in the morning here on the first day of the event, somebody is either spending a lot of money to get that car, first of all, quickly and then fully maxing it, or they got special connections, okay? And they got their car for $5, and therefore it's fully maxed when it comes to them. I don't really care. What I expect to see, though, is I do expect to see a bunch of Havocs as I get up to the higher ranks, and then it's kind of a race. I actually enjoy Showdown when it's the same car racing me, because at least then, fully maxed, you can arguably say there's some skill involved. If my fully maxed Havoc runs against another fully maxed Havoc, how I launch, how I shift, then it really matters. Until it's that point, if I'm just a faster car than everybody else, it really takes very little skill. You just have to drive it just fast enough to beat the other guy. And therefore, there's no real challenge nor any gratification in the wins. But when I get to 1100, 1200, I expect I will be racing other Havocs. So at least that portion will be fun. So here we just topped 1100. I'm on race 15. Mind you, the first 6 or 7 or 8 races were all basically bots, so I didn't even record those. They don't really count for much. But even when you start off in the 800 range with real people, again, they don't start off with the strong cars. Now, here, this is a real challenge. This is where it's actually fun because I'm racing somebody who's obviously got a Havoc. More than likely, it's a maxed Havoc, and therefore, if I shift properly and beat them, that means I did well. There's some level of competition there, so there's some level of good feeling when you actually win that because you did well. Okay, am I going to get to the top range opponents easily and beat everybody? Maybe not, but I shouldn't lose that many with this car because essentially, unless I run into the Mach E, I am the apex car for this event. So when it comes to Uncle Sam, when it comes to Tuatara, as long as I don't botch my run, I have nothing to fear here. So the Havoc, ultimately, in my opinion, is one of the easiest cars to drive fast out of the max cars. Some of the max cars in this game have some really funky shift patterns, real funky launch, very sensitive, and it's very hard to get a decent run out of it. The Havoc, you can get 6.8 something run relatively easily. Low 6.8s, of course, takes some skill or timing. I don't want to call it skill, it's more timing. Knowing when to shift, at what RPM to shift, launching it perfect and immediately go into second and nitrous. All these little factors adds in. Let's see, am I going to get, okay, I did get an opponent. Again, another max Havoc. I expect nothing but Havocs at this point because these are the only cars that should have been able to make it this far, this quick in the event so far. So again, looks like I was able to outshift them slightly. I'm not making world record runs here. I'm nowhere close. But sometimes consistent, decent runs will get you just as far. Unless you run into a guy who is on the money with the shifts and on the money with his launch, you should still be able to advance. So this is where, again, it's kind of fun because at least I'm racing somebody. Okay, so 1235. Let's see if I can make it all the way through without a loss. I mean, I have to concentrate for that. Launch, shift, nitrous. I mean, nitrous is second gear, but I find that the key is to shift more than the timing of the nitrous with this car. Even though you're hitting nitrous, it doesn't seem to do a huge amount when it comes to performance. So that was a 6.855. That's a pretty good run. Anything in the 6.85s range, you're doing great with the Havoc. A little bit of gas to make sure I can finish the 1400. Again, each win is against somebody at your level. It's like 20 some trophies. So you figure you can move 100 trophies in 4 races. That means it's pretty quick to get to 1400. In fact, the first few races, some of them give you 150 points a race. So you jump a ton of trophies with one win. Now, though, at this level, it's going to be probably 30, 20, 30, maybe 30 something to 40 trophies at most. So for the most part, you're going to move 100 every well, I would say 3 to 4 races. So right there, boom, right to 1311. And I'm within sight of the prize card. This is when matchmaking usually start to get funny. It knows you're almost there, and it's almost like the matchmaking tries to find somebody that can beat you. Okay? Or it just, by function of you being here, you're racing better racers. Because they also beat people to get here too. So naturally, you're going to face some of the better opponents at this level. Once again, I was able to beat another Havoc and move forward. Now I'm about 3 races away from, or 2 actually, depending on what trophy counts I get, from getting, oh, that was a big one, 38 points, so that's good. So I'm at 1350 basically, and I'm almost there. All I need to do is top 1400, then I'm done. So let's see who's the next opponent. Havoc, yep, another Havoc. Because he has higher trophies than I do right now, if I win, I should get a decent amount of trophy, maybe in the 30s. So again, launch second, nitrous. Those third and fourth shifts are important. I think he slowed down. Maybe he already got the car. He's giving me the win. I appreciate that. It's nice when somebody slows down for you. So that's good. Got that one, and that's a nice point. Oh, he disconnected. Okay, all right. I hope I get the points. 36, and I still got it. Good. So 1385. That's not bad. Let's move on. Now, this is the important race right here. Let's see what the game gives me as an opponent. And it is, of course, a Mustang Mach E, of course. Okay? The one card that can beat you is what you're going to get right before you can get the trophy needed to win the car. Why am I not surprised? Because, quite honestly, I think it's intentional that it's designed this way. Ooh, I beat him. All right. All right. I was thinking I'm going to have to do another race after seeing the Mach E, but I got lucky there. I actually beat him. And that, hey, look, I don't care how I beat him, why I beat him. I beat him. That's all that matters. It's good. Deliver the car. Now, before you go lose another race, right? If I go forward, I could lose a race and jump back under 1400. It shouldn't affect you getting the prize, but why risk it? I'm going to go home and collect my prize. So you need this car for lock-in number 5. That's why I even did the showdown. But having now acquired this car, unless lock-in number 5 requires a ton of stage 6s, I am well on my way to being able to get the Mustang Mach E. So here are all the rewards. You can claim them one at a time, or you can claim all at once. Generally speaking, what I do is I claim them all at once, and then I try to see if the car claim shows up like that. It shows up, New Mexico Showdown, prize card, let's collect it. Come on, don't crash, don't crash. Okay, there it is. So the next gen NASCAR Next Gen Mustang, there it is. Now this car may end up being decent, but it may not be decent. I don't really care. Right now, this car is just a means to get my way to the Mustang Mach E. Now, being that it's a purple star car, and having looked at the crates on this already, let's go look at the crates. I'm going to tell you right now that because it's a purple star, the way the game is designed, if we need stage 6s, we're probably not going to get it for this car easily. Okay, and here's why. In fact, let's go look at the crates. Then we'll call the video from there, and I'll do a separate video for actually finishing the event. Okay, so looking at the crates right here, there's your crate for the Ford. There's apparently an issue with the Javelin crate, or missing the Uncle Sam crate or something. I'm sure they're going to fix that. Okay, so it's $3.99 per crate. You need 7 to get a stage 6. If this event requires multiple stage 6s on that Ford, then it's designed basically to be a money event. Hopefully it does not. There's a chance, and I don't know yet, there's a chance we may be able to do this at stage 5 only with full fusions. We'll find out soon enough later today. But that crate is going to be the one for the 5th lock-in. It's going to make or break people when it comes to getting through the event, if you're trying to play for free. Obviously, if you don't care about spending $3.99 at a time to try to get stage 6s, you probably get a few for this Mustang. I'm certainly not going to do any more than the minimal necessary to get through the event, because the car I want to build is the Mach E, not this Mustang. This next gen Mustang, as far as I know, isn't that great. So that is my quick 1400 run in Showdown. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think. Feel free to comment. If you liked the video, leave a like. If you like my channel, subscribe, hit the bell, and you get notifications when I put up new videos. And as always, thank you for watching my videos. I'll catch you next time.